Hello, good evening and welcome to Business here on Joy News Prime with me, Beverly Broom. We go straight to our very first story. An economist, Professor Lord Mensah, is upbeat. The World Bank's $250 million support to the Financial Stability Fund will boost investor confidence in the financial sector. According to him, over the years, liquidity had been a challenge for banks, threatening the viability and soundness of the financial sector. Professor Mensah's comment is coming at a time government had completed the framework that will support the fund, which will take off from July this year, although the World Bank is yet to release its $250 million seed support for the fund. Professor Lord Mensah has been speaking to Joy Business.
I'm not worried because, in a way, Bank of Ghana has already prepared the grounds. Remember, Bank of Ghana issued a directive that dividends should be hold on, for some time now. Indirectly, it's a way of, the equity holder more or less rescuing the situation instead of waiting for these external funds. Some of these funds are more or less uncertain as to whether it will come or not. But I'm happy we're done with the framework, and in the end, hopefully, once the board meet on it, it will be money to show up in the country's accounts. We're supposed to see a boost. Banking sector, we know very well that liquidity has been a problem, and that is why turning away from government instrument has been difficult. And we hope that with some of these boosts, they will start turning to the private sector, and that is, the benefit that we look out for when it comes to some of these, economic reforms like the IMF program that we have now.
Away from that, a former board chairman of the Volta River Authority, VRA, Kweku Awatri, is calling for a least cost procurement competitive tender regime to curb the inefficiencies in the power sector. According to him, that's the only solution to address the lingering issues bordering the sector's efficiency and sustainability. His comment is coming at a time the independent power producers have resolved to give the government up to June 30, 2023 to pay a minimum of 30% of the outstanding energy debt, else will not guarantee the continued generation of electricity. Reacting to the developments on the Super Morning Show, Mr. Awatri said government would have to be pragmatic about its future power contracts.
We've got to get the governance of the system right. And I know, once again, these are things that are understood, they are known, and it's really very much about having the political will and institutional capacity to follow through on what we know we need to do. So, but when you ask me, government knows what to do. We've got to get our tariffs right. We've got to cover the cost of production. We've got to reduce our losses and fix ECG. We've got to very quickly get into a least cost procurement competitive tender regime. And if we don't do that, we will always get into these sort of emergency situations where we're scrambling to bring in power. We get them at terms that are not necessarily favorable to us. But it's got to be integrated, it's got to be well thought through, it's got to be coherent, and it's got to be accepted and owned by the agencies across the sector. And sometimes that breakdown, that lack of alignment is a real problem. But if that's not there, it's very difficult to implement properly. We've got to very quickly get into a least cost procurement competitive tender regime. And if we don't do that, we will always get into these sort of emergency situations where we're scrambling to bring in power.
Now, PepsiCo, in partnership with Transmed Ghana Limited, has launched the new series Nectar range of juices in Ghana. According to the commercial lead for PepsiCo, Isabel Kwetza, consumers would have additional uncompromising choices at the broader range of affordability. She spoke to Joy Business at the launch of the product.
At the first launch, commercial lead for PepsiCo Export East, West and the rest of the world, Isabel Kwetza said, series is bringing the best of nature to consumers with high quality goodness and delicious taste in a wide range of flavors.
So as a company, we pride ourselves in trying to create smiles with every sip and every bite as a company. And I think with the series Nectar, already with the series 100% in the market, you do get that. But with the series Nectar effect, hashtag, you do get that additional smile that we do put into the market and being true to our values and our brand. Within the next 2 weeks, we will be bringing the series Nectar effect to the market specifically through the open markets in Ghana, Kaneshi, Medina, Ukaishi. We will bring it to the Ghanaians in the country itself, and then moving forward into Takoradi, Kumasi, etc. So we are. I don't want to elaborate too much, but it is fun. It is vibrant. It is really pulling the senses and the taste buds of the consumers, and bringing the fun into the series Nectar range itself.
PepsiCo marketing manager for juices, West, East and Central Africa, Karen Versay, shared their excitement and hopes for the product to reach the masses in Ghana.
We're launching Series Nectar because our consumers have said to us that in addition to the much-loved 100% range of the Buy series, they're also looking for a juice that is thicker and more fruity and slightly sweeter. So it really is because we are listening to our consumers and we are giving them what they've asked for. As I mentioned, it's Nectar is really it's just an additional range of choice for our consumers. We have a large range of 100% juices, and as mentioned, there's the need for the thicker, more fruity blends, and that is what we have with the series Nectar.
The vibrant and fun-packed designs reflect the fruity deliciousness of the juices and the consumers and the communities in which they are consumed. Available in 5 flavors in 1 liter and 200 milliliter pack sizes, the new additions to the series family in the Nectar range are the multi-fruit fusion, tropical blast, orange bliss, Caribbean crush, and the...
And that's our package for tonight. For more business news, you can log on to myjoyonline.com/business. My name is Beverly Brome. I leave you with news making headlines on the international front.